This is Cricbuzz Unplugged with Adam Collins, and I'm thrilled to have with me on the segment today England wicketkeeper batsman Sam Billings. Of course, you were probably going to be the spare batsman in the squad. Got the opportunity when Joe Denley pulled out injured, and you made the most of the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Again, you don't really know when these opportunities will arise, and unfortunately, one of my best mates, just had a bit of a niggle and got the shout. So it was just pleasing from an individual point of view just to take that opportunity, like I said, and play the way that I know I can and do regularly for Kent, really.
It's an important time for you in your career, isn't it? Of course, you've been around the international scene for about 4 or 5 years, but you get to really bed yourself down in the England one-day team. The start of a new cycle, the first one-dayer for the world champions in England last night since holding up the World Cup. This is your time, isn't it?
Yeah, potentially, of course. Like you said, I've been around the group for the whole of the last cycle and missed the World Cup through injury last year. And it's arguably one of the hardest sporting teams to get into in the world, probably in world sport at the moment. The depth that the white ball team in England has is pretty phenomenal, and what the side has done over the last 4 years has completely transformed the format of the game, actually, single-handedly as a team. So for me, all I can do is take these opportunities when they arise. I think in the past maybe I put too much pressure on myself to score a 30-ball 100 or do something ridiculous to kind of really assert and keep my place, I suppose. But I think I'm getting slightly older, a little bit more experienced, a little bit wiser, I suppose. And yesterday kind of just did what I do, really, and played my game, played my kind of tempo, and just really enjoyed it. I think that's the key thing, is not put too much pressure on myself and just embrace the opportunity and enjoy my cricket. But absolutely, for me, the focus will definitely be on those World Cups that are upcoming.
Yeah, that's fantastic to bounce back after that injury that kept you out of the World Cup last year, of course. And look, the influence the IPL has had on developing your game in the last few seasons, of course, the opportunity to play at CSK. Such a rich history at that club, isn't there? And so many fantastic players you can learn from and draw from.
Absolutely. I mean, I absolutely loved my 2 years at CSK. The success in which the environment has had consistently over time is unmatched, really. Probably only Mumbai have kind of been as consistent as CSK, and to get a winner's medal of the IPL is something that I really cherish, and it's just been an honour to be a part of. And for me, that experience, learning from those great players, as you mentioned, the overseas guys, but also the homegrown Indian stars. I mean, no bigger star than MS Dhoni. And in terms of my role that I want to fulfil, there's no better person to learn off in MSD. So for me, it was great to pick his brains and just enjoy kind of the environment that he's created there.
Well, you mentioned the great Dhoni, and of course there is the comparison there given the role that you play as a batter and a wicketkeeper. Give us a bit of an insight at what it's like learning under someone like that. Give us an understanding of the sort of lessons he can teach you in playing that role.
Well, he's a big Man United fan, which really helped, as am I. So he always invited me. There's a few Man United fans around, so whenever the game was on, we used to go to his room and watch there. So it was pretty cool just to talk about cricket, and just learn off him, really, and see how he goes about his business, whether it's practice in games, and for me as well, as in my 3rd year of captaincy as well at Kent. I think that's the most incredible thing, is how he talks to his players, especially the young players. They have the utmost respect and trust in him, but he also trusts people as well, and allows them to really thrive in the environment. So I suppose we haven't got long enough to talk about all the different stories, but I think that in a nutshell, just general chats, sharing a net with him and asking him, well, what would you try and do against this bowler? What would you get? And just chucking ideas around. That was really helpful for me.
Obviously, great news last week that the IPL will be back this year. Obviously, MS hasn't played really at all since last year's World Cup. Has there been much dialogue there, or have you got much of a sense of how he'll approach coming back to the game after a long layoff?
I think that's the benefit of experience, and obviously we've all had a layoff in the last few months with this, and also I had my injury last year. But for me, I think that's the benefit of franchise tournaments, that you as an individual have to get yourself ready, whether it's a week, maybe 2 weeks, a very short notice. You have to prepare for a tournament that's upcoming, and I think those experiences, you get to know what you need as an individual, and there's no better person that knows his game in MS, so he will absolutely be raring to go. And I think, like anyone in that role, I think you get better with age. That experience really does really help. So for me, that's what I'm hoping to do, and to emulate any sort of a success that he's shown would be fantastic.
What sort of advice do you give to a young man like Sam Curran coming into the CSK setup?
It's the best franchise you'll play for. The environment that Dhoni and Fleming have created is phenomenal, and one that I was very lucky to be a part of, as I said. And I haven't spoken too much to Sammy about it, but I will do in due course. And I think as soon as I text Flem, as soon as the auction happened, and I said that's a great pick, because Sam, as well as an individual, will fit into that environment perfectly. He's a great young player, great young bloke, and I think he will thrive as well. He's shown the class that he's had in the IPL, but also in international cricket. So I think that's a win-win situation for both parties.
Well, Sam, congratulations on your excellent performance last night, and best of luck for what will probably be a long stretch of cricket with the white ball form of the game, both for England and then over in India, hopefully.
Hopefully. Thanks a lot, Adam. Always appreciate chatting to you.